You build relationships by being willing to be helpful without expecting to be paid or, get something specific from them. And people remember that, and it builds trust. And that's what we've done in a global startup network around the world. We have a trusted network of people who are willing to help each other. And they don't need to be paid to do that. Now, they'll get something, they'll get reputation, right? Just like you're doing, you're helping out, and it will lead to opportunities for you. You just have no idea what they're going to be, right? And that's the magic of Give First. But let me show you Give First in action.
Yes.
Let's just do it. Come a little closer here.
Yes,
Get in the frame.
Yes.
So if you need interviews or video production services in San Francisco or New York or Tokyo, this is the best person that you could go and find and work with, right? She totally understands Give First. You should work with her. I think she does amazing work.
Yeah, why not?
So there's a little ad for you because you give first.
Yeah.
No charge.
Thank you so much.
So hot off the press, we just finished our demo day yesterday, gathering 500 people, investors, mentors, and community builders. It was a very exciting event. We even had a special guest from abroad, Kun Gao, who was the former founder and CEO of Crunchyroll, as well as Kevin Lin, who was a co-founder of Twitch, and Elizabeth In and Shi & Co. from Hustle Fund, as well as many angel investors. So it was a very exciting event. And then, of course, our very own David Cohen, flying from Colorado as a special guest. And
as usual, just showing up and watching the amazing work that you did.
Thank you.
Really strong companies. Every year feels like it's better, and year 2 here feels better than year 1. Year 1 was great, but wow, these companies, I think standing room only was really full and the energy was really high.
So David, I'm curious. So there are many people who want to learn about Techstars. For example, co-founders. If they are not technical, maybe like marketing and sales, such a co-founders cannot apply for Techstars.
Well, the world is changing, so anyone can apply, first of all, but there's now tools that allow you to do vibe coding. You don't have to know engineering to create a prototype of software anymore. But essentially, we're looking for a team that can build that business. So we're not going to fund someone who has an idea but doesn't have the ability to actually build it. Just like you wouldn't invest in a auto repair shop for cars unless they had mechanics that knew how to fix them, right? So we're looking for teams that are very talented with a great idea that we can support. And we're accepting maybe 1% of applicants. So it's very difficult to get an investment from anyone, and from ourselves included. The teams that are going to get that investment are capable of building what they have in mind.
Thank you. And I really love the concept of Techstars, give first.
Yeah.
So I believe there are 2 types of people, maybe 3 types, like a giver, taker, and maybe dependency. Depends on, my title is big, maybe many people want to help or approach. But if I am not famous or popular, maybe it's difficult to get the, people's help. Especially in Japan, compared to US, we don't have give first culture.
Well, I think that give first as a culture, the idea is you're going to be helpful to entrepreneurs, to founders, without expecting anything back. That doesn't mean that it's altruism. It doesn't mean it's philanthropy. You expect to get something back. You just don't know when or what you're going to get back. But you're giving because you think the system will reward you in some way. You just don't know what way that is. And I think a lot of people naturally operate this way. I'm sure you've met people in life that are givers. They want to help you. There are also takers who just want to take things. And then the third type is balancers, right? They view it as, if you do something for me, I'll do something for you. And this was written about by a guy named Adam Grant, who wrote a book called Give and Take, which is a very well-known book in the US, at least, I think globally. He was the first one that really understood and wrote about this concept. It is the secret weapon of great startup communities. They are just helpful because they want to be helpful.
Yeah.
Not because they're going to get something transactional back, but because if I help you, maybe you'll help someone else, and maybe they'll help someone else. And eventually I'll benefit from that in some way. So we were just sitting, as you know, with the law firm Oric is a good example. They're just being helpful in the startup community, doing things for free. Sometimes they might get something back, but they don't view it as a transaction. They're not making you sign a contract for them to be helpful. They're just being helpful. And I think that in Tokyo and around the world, the communities that behave this way, they have more impressive startups that get created there, and their economy benefits from it.
I see. Thank you so much. I am a big believer of Give First.
Yeah.
Because I come from a super rural area in Japan. No tech community or no women leadership. So I don't have any big background. That's why doing a volunteer for other, for example, Techstars event or Jetro event, doing a volunteer, how can I help you? How can I help you? And then getting a little bit trust. And then sometimes they ask me, Kaori, hey, this is the person. Maybe you can interview. Or do you want to join our next event? Thank you. These first, small give first, and then making the trust.
That's right. You build relationships by being willing to be helpful without expecting to be paid or, get something specific from them. And people remember that, and it builds trust. And that's what we've done in a global startup network around the world. We have a trusted network of people who are willing to help each other. And they don't need to be paid to do that. Now, they'll get something, they'll get reputation, right? Just like you're doing, you're helping out, and it will lead to opportunities for you. You just have no idea what they're going to be, right? And that's the magic of Give First.
Yeah, I love that. So you personally look back in your life. What was the your experience, maybe first experience, which you got give from your friend or a senior person?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of times it goes back to childhood. I think of my father who was very generous. He wasn't particularly, wealthy or anything like that, but he was very giving to his community. And I experienced that, in the family, pretty early on in life. And he was a accountant, and he had a small accounting firm, and just the generosity that he showed in the community and to his employees, I think that rubbed off on me. And then I think even the origin story of Techstars itself, I went to Brad Feld, who's my co-founder. I didn't know him, and I got a random meeting with him for 15 minutes. I'd never met him before. And I said, here's my idea. I'd love for you to be involved somehow. And the amount of help he gave me with no expectation of getting anything back. He introduced me to lots of people. He offered to invest. There was not a specific transaction. It's like, well, how can I help you? I like this idea. So even my first encounter with him as a mentor was him giving before he got anything, and really not having an expectation of anything in particular happening. I've since sort of just done that for a lot of people myself, and I feel it's really powerful when you see it working, where I help somebody and then they go create a huge impactful business that changes the world. Maybe I invested in it, maybe I didn't. I feel good either way, right? So it's been a persistent force in my life since the time I was a young child.
I love that. Was it in person? It
was in person 15 minutes. Now it took me 4 months to get that meeting because he's very busy.
I see.
But even the meeting, what Brad was offering was, I'll meet with anyone for 15 minutes, and I'll do that all day long. So he took, 25 meetings in a day, and I was one of them. And that is his own expression of Give First. Just be helpful. I don't know what's going to come out of these meetings, but I want to make myself available to random people who sign up that I've never met, that I have no reason to meet with them. And Techstars itself was born because Brad has that attitude, right? And he helped me build it. But let me show you Give First in action.
Yes.
Let's just do it. Come a little closer here. Get in the frame.
Yes.
So if you need interviews or video production services in San Francisco or New York or Tokyo, this is the best person that you could go and find and work with, right? She totally understands Give First. You should work with her. I think she does amazing work.
Yeah, why not?
So there's a little ad for you because you give first.
Yeah.
No charge.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. So what is your current challenge as a CEO of Techstars? Maybe I could help you, or our audience also could help you.
Wow. I would say that the persistent challenge of startups is that you always need the capital to support them. So we're a venture capital firm at heart. And so, you always need to be raising money and finding more investors that are interested in what you're doing. And, that's just ever present in this business, because you want to do more investing because you have more opportunity to invest. So there's nothing specific you can do about that. But a lot of people see Techstars and they think, oh, that looks like, like a community service, like it's philanthropy or it's nonprofit, but really we're a venture capital firm. And so, people who are interested in investing in startups, we and many other organizations like us are always looking for capital, right, to do more of what we do. So that's the thing that's always challenging in running a business like this.
I see.
We already have a couple $1 billion under management, but a few billion more would be helpful, so.
Why Japan? Because there are many kind of a potential community hub, but you guys chose Japan.
Yeah, well, Tokyo specifically is now a top 10 startup hub in the world. It's producing a lot of great companies already. And I believe as an investor, you have to get to opportunities earlier than other people. So we want to be a part of the community here, not for 2 years or 5 years, but for 100 years or 1,000 years, right? And I think you have to get there early before everyone knows that it's obvious that you should be there. So we've been operating here for a couple of years. We've been running events here for probably a decade. And I think it's going to be a top 5 startup community in the world, right? It has all the potential with the population and the legacy and the history here. So many big companies supporting the activity rather than fighting it. I think it's a very powerful dynamic to make this a great startup community in the future.
I see. Yeah, so if you are interested in joining Techstars Tokyo, please reach out Yuki Shira to LinkedIn, or please check Techstars Tokyo's website as well. Yay!
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I don't know.